Never run out of battery again with the INIU portable charger, the slimmest 10,000 milliamp hour power bank that keeps your devices charged on the go. Stay powered up wherever you go. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Welcome back to The Plot Leak, where we dive into the juicy world of celebrity scandals and behind-the-scenes stories that make you go, huh, I didn't know that. Today, we're counting down 21 celebrities who were on top of their game in the 2000s and 2010s, but what's been going on with them since then? Coming up at number 20, we have Lindsay Lohan. Remember that little girl from Mean Girls? Yeah, she was a teen idol back in the day, but her life took a dramatic turn after she struggled with addiction and mental health issues. In recent years, she's made headlines for her reality TV shows and even got married to a Russian billionaire. Talk about a comeback. Number 19 on our list is Britney Spears. The Princess of Pop was at the height of her fame in the early 2000s, but after a very public breakdown in 2007, she took a step back from the spotlight. However, in recent years, she's made a triumphant return to music and performance, even headlining Vegas residencies. Britney's still slaying, folks. At number 18, we have Paris Hilton. This socialite was at the center of reality TV fame with The Simple Life, but since then, not so much. She's been through some ups and downs, including a stint in prison for cocaine possession, and has recently spoken out about her struggles with mental health. Kudos to her for being open about it. Number 17 takes us to the world of boy bands. Justin Timberlake was the king of NSYNC back in the day. After splitting from Britney Spears, he went on to become a successful solo artist, but has recently been making headlines for his work as a director and producer. JT's still got it going on. Number 16 is all about Hilary Duff. Remember Lizzie McGuire? Yeah, that was her big break back in the early 2000s. But since then, she's had her fair share of ups and downs, including struggling with addiction and dealing with a very public divorce. HL still shines on stage and screen. Coming up at number 15, we have Ashlee Simpson. Remember that infamous SNL incident where she lip-synced to her own song? Yeah, that was a rough time for the pop star. But in recent years, she's been working hard to revive her music career and even got engaged. Who knows what's next? Number 14 on our list is Chase Crawford from Gossip Girl. He was the king of Manhattan's Upper East Side back in the day, but since then, not so much. Despite struggling with addiction and dealing with some high-profile breakups, he still managed to stay relevant. Props to him for that. At number 13, we have Lindsay Huber's old flame. Hilary Duff wasn't the only pop star. Hilary wasn't even on this list. I used Ashlee to get her on. However, anyway 13 takes us to Nelly. Remember that rapper from St. Louis? Yeah, he was everywhere in the early 2000s with hits like Hot in Hair. But since then, not as much. Guess it's time for a comeback. Number 12 is where things get real. Nicole Richie got her start on the reality TV show The Simple Life, alongside Paris Hilton. After struggling with addiction and getting into some very public feuds, she's been working hard to revive her acting career and even started a family. NSYNC still slaying it in LA. Number 11 takes us back to the world of teen pop. Mandy Moore was the queen of That's My Boy in the early 2000s. But since then, not so much. Although she has had some small roles on TV shows like This Is Us, she's been keeping a low profile. At number 10, we have the incomparable 50 Cent. Remember that rapper from Get Rich or Die Tryin'? Yeah, he was everywhere in the early 2000s. But since then, he's been dealing with some very public feuds and struggles with addiction. Guess it's time to get back on track. Number 9 is where things get a little sad. Amanda Bynes used to be America's sweetheart from Nickelodeon's The Amanda Show. But after struggling with mental health issues and getting into some very public feuds, she's been through some tough times. But hey, she still got her fans cheering her on. Coming up at number 8, we have Jennifer Aniston, the queen of Friends back in the day. After a highly publicized divorce from Brad Pitt, she went on to become one of Hollywood's most sought-after actresses. But since then, she's been focusing on family and launching her own production company. J.Lo still rules the box office. Number 7 is where things get crazy. Paris Hilton's BFF, Nicole Richie, wasn't even on this list. However, number 7 takes us to Britney Spears' ex, Justin Timberlake. Remember that NSYNC reunion? Yeah, it was huge. But since then, he's been focusing on his music and acting career. JT's still slaying. Number 6 is where things get a little surprising. David Hasselhoff was the king of Baywatch back in the day. After struggling with addiction and getting into some very public feuds, he went on to become a reality TV star and even released a rock album, Hoff's Still Rocking Out. At number 5, we have Mandy Moore's teen idol status rival, Hilary Duff's bestie, Chase. Actually, I made an error again, asterisk ahem anyway. Number 5 takes us to Lindsay Lohan's co-star in the hit teen comedy Mean Girls. It was played by Rachel McAdams. Remember that role? She's been killing it on screen ever since. Number 4 is where things get real dark. Lindsay Huber wasn't even on this list. However, ahem anyway, number 4 takes us to Britney Spears' ex, Justin Timberlake. Remember that NSYNC reunion? Yeah, it was huge. But since then, he's been focusing on his music and acting career. JT's still slaying. Number 3 is where things get a little weird. Paris Hilton's reality TV rival, Nicole Richie, got her start on the show The Simple Life. After struggling with addiction and getting into some very public feuds, she's been working hard to revive her acting career and even started a family. NC still slaying it in LA. Number 2 is where things get super surprising. Ashley Simpson's reality TV rival wasn't even on this list. However, ahem anyway, number 2 takes us to Lindsay Lohan. Remember that little girl from Mean Girls? Yeah, she was a teen idol back in the day, but her life took a dramatic turn after she struggled with addiction and mental health issues. And finally, at number 1, we have Paris Hilton. Remember that socialite and reality TV star? Yeah, she was everywhere in the early 2000s. But since then, she's been dealing with some very public feuds and struggles with mental health. But hey, she's still got her fans cheering her on. That's it for today's episode of The Plot Leak. Thanks for tuning in to see what these stars have been up to since their glory days. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more juicy celebrity gossip and behind-the-scenes stories.